Hello everyone. This lecture is optical receiver operation. Basically, optical receiver operation it consists of photodetector, amplifier, and signal processing circuitry. Photodetector it converts the optical energy emerging from the end of the fiber into electrical signal, and the amplifier it will amplify the signal. That is, it raises the detector's electrical signal to a level suitable for signal processing. And next is the signal processing. Signal processing it further processes the amplified signal to suit it for interfacing circuit. And for digital circuit, the signal processing circuitry it includes low pass filter and equalizer. And for analog circuits, it includes only the low pass filter. And these three are the tasks of the receiver. And next is the noise role in the receiver. In receiver operation, various noises and distortions will unavoidably introduce due to imperfect component responses. And this leads to error in interpretation of received signals. Since the current generated by photodetector is very weak and is affected by the random noises associated with the photodetection process. And when this electrical signal is amplified, and from the amplifier the additional noises will come and this will further corrupt the signal. Therefore, noise considerations are more important in design of optical receivers. Since the noise sources operating in the receiver generally set the lowest limit for the signal that can be processed. And next is the performance measuring. The performance measurement of the receiver. In digital communication, it is measured by average error probability, whereas in the analog communication system, it is specified in terms of peak signal to noise ratio. And next is the fundamental receiver operation. The design of optical receiver is much more complicated than that of the optical transmitter. Why? Because the receiver has to detect the weak signal, and the receiver has to detect the distorted signal, and the decision making on the basis of amplified and reshaped version of distorted signals. Because of these three operations of the receiver, the design of the optical receiver is more complicated than that of the optical transmitter. And now here arises a question that what happens to a signal as it is sent through an optical fiber link? Generally, in digital signal transmission, one of the simplest techniques for sending data is amplitude shift keying or on-off keying. In this, the voltage level is switched between two values, which are usually on and off. And the resultant signal wave that consists of voltage pulse of amplitude V relatively to the zero voltage level when binary 1 occurs, and a zero voltage level space when a binary 0 occurs. That is, depending on the coding scheme, one may or may not fill the time slot. And here the time slot is TB, and if voltage level is present, then it is 1, otherwise it is 0. It is transmitted through a LED or a laser, and through that the optical pulses is transmitted through the optical fiber, and the output of the optical fiber is then sent to the photodiode, and from there the electrical signal that is sent to the amplifier or a filter, and from there it is sent through the decision circuit, and from there to the signal processing equipment. And here the transmitter part, that is the whatever the components there in the first row, it's come under the transmitter part. That is, the function of the optical transmitter is to convert the electrical signal to an optical signal. Here you can see that we are sending the electrical pulses The transmitter is converting it to the optical pulses and directly modulating the light source driven current with the information stream to produce a varying optical output. Optical signal emerging from LED or laser transmitter, one is represented by a pulse of optical power, light of duration TB, and 0 is represented by absence of any light. If there is a intensity of light from the laser transmitter or LED transmitter, then it gives a 1. And if light is not present, then it gives 0. And next is the fiber. The optical signal that is coupled from the light source to the fiber becomes attenuated and distorted as it is propagated along the fiber waveguides. And next, these two rows are the receiver, optical receiver. In receiver, upon arriving at the end of the fiber, the receiver converts the optical signal back into the electrical format. And next is the basic components of an optical receiver. And here you are seeing the basic section of an optical receiver. It consists of photodetector, front-end amplifier, filter or equalizer. Filter, it may be the low pass filter. And next is the sampling circuit, decision circuit, and the clock recovery. We will study in detail about all these blocks. Photodetector. Photodetector is the first element in the receiver, and it may be either a pin or an avalanche photodetectors. In our previous lecture, we studied about the pin and the avalanche photodetectors and the principles of these two. That photodetector is the main component or the first component in the optical receiver. It produces an electrical current that is proportional to the received power level. And next is the front-end amplifier. Front-end amplifier. As the electric current is very weak, a front-end amplifier is used to boost it to a level that it can be used in next electronic components. That is, in the front-end amplifier, they are amplifying the signal to a certain level. And next is a filter or equalizer. Filter, we will use it in low-pass filter. That is, after the electrical signal produced by the photodiode is amplified, it passes through the low-pass filter to reduce the noise that is outside the signal bandwidth. This filter thus defines the receiver's bandwidth and minimize the effect of inter-symbol interference. If there is an inter-symbol interference, then there is a chance of pulse spreading. So by using this low-pass filter, we can minimize the pulse spreading. And next is the equalizer. Equalizer, it will reshape the pulses that have become distorted or spreaded as they travel through the fiber. And next is a decision circuit. It compares the samples with a certain reference voltage known as a threshold level. If the received signal level is greater than the threshold level, then it will receive 1. Or if the received signal is less than the threshold level, then it will receive 0. And this clock recovery or a timing recovery, this is used to accomplish bit interpretation. The receiver must know where the bit boundaries are. This is done with the assistance of periodic waveform called clock. That periodic waveform is called clock, which has a periodicity equal to the bit interval. This is all about the digital signal transmission. And next is the error resources. And these are the noise sources and disturbances in optical pulse detection mechanism. When a light is incident on a photodetector, then from that photon stream, we will get the photon detection quantum noise. And in the photo detector, there is a chance of bulk dark current, surface leakage current, statistical gain fluctuation. It is for avalanche photodiode. And the output of the photo detector, we are sending it to the amplifier. In between, we are using the bias resistor. Through that, we may have a chance to get the thermal noise. And at the process of amplification, there is a chance of amplifier noise. And error resources. Errors in the detection mechanism can arise from various noises and disturbances associated with the signal detection system. Actually, what is a noise? It is the unwanted components of an electrical signal that tend to disturb the transmission and processing of signal in a physical system over which we have incomplete control. And the noise sources can be either external to the system or internal to the system. The external noises includes electric power lines, motors, or through radio transmitters, lightning, etc. And the internal noise is the noise source which is internal to the system. For example, thermal noise, short noise, dark current, etc. But here we shall be considered mainly on internal noise, which present in every communication system and represent a basic limitation on transmission or detection of signal. And the short noise. Short noise source. It is a random arrival rate of signal photons produced on quantum or short noise at the photodetector. Generally, this short noise arises in electronic devices because of the discrete nature of current flow in the device. That is, short noise also arises from the statistical nature of multiplication process in avalanche photodiode. And next is the thermal noise. The thermal noise arises from the random motion of electrons in a conductor. The thermal noise arising from the detector load resistor. And the source of the thermal noise is also amplifier electronics. And next is the dark current. The photodiode dark current arises from the electrons and holes that are thermally generated at the PN junction of the diode. Among all the noises, this dark current is small as compared to all other noises. Since the short noise depends on the signal level, when we are using the pin receivers with large optical input levels are required. When we are using an avalanche photodiode, this noise increases with the increasing avalanche gain, since it arises from the statistical nature of multiplication process. The thermal noise, since it is arising from the detector load resistors and from amplifier electronics, when pin diode detector is used, this noise tends to dominate in applications with low signal to noise ratio. If avalanche diode is used, the optimum gain is determined by trade-off between thermal noise and gain independent quantum noise. The thermal noise are of Gaussian nature and can be treated by standard techniques. And the analysis of the noises and the resulting error probabilities associated with the primary photocurrent generation and the avalanche multiplication are complicated, since neither of these processes are Gaussian. Since neither of these processes are Gaussian and the thermal noises are of Gaussian nature, so for calculating these errors, it is very complicated. The primary photocurrent generated in a time-varying Poisson distribution. That is, if the detector is illuminated by an optical energy P of t, then average number of electron hole pairs in a time t is given by n cap. That is n cap equal to eta by hv, the integral of P of t in terms of time, that is given by eta E by hv, where eta is the detector quantum efficiency, hv is the photon energy, and E is the energy received in time interval tau. And next, the average number of electron hole pairs n that are generated fluctuates from average according to the Poisson distribution. The Poisson distribution P R of n is given by n cap whole power small n. Small n is the number of electron hole pairs multiplied by e power minus n cap divided by n factorial, where P R of n is given as probability that n electrons are emitted in interval tau. But it is a fact that it is not possible to find an exact number of electron hole pairs generated. And the noise due to that is called as quantum noise. For a detector with a mean avalanche gain m and an ionization rate ratio k, the excess noise factor f of m is given by f of m equal to km plus 2 minus 1 by m multiplied by 1 minus k. And it can be approximated by f of m equal to m to the power of x. The range of x is between 0 and 1 depending on the photodiode material. And a further error resource is attributed to intersymbol interference, that is, which results from pulse spreading in the optical fiber. Because of the pulse spreading induced by the fiber, some of the transmitted energy will progressively spread into the neighboring time slots as the pulse propagates along the fiber. Here in the figure, you can see the pulse spreading, and the energy is spreaded into the neighboring pulses. And the fraction of the energy, that is 1 minus gamma, is spreaded into the neighboring pulses. And this is all about the error sources in optical receiver.